everyone. Welcome to the live stream, a Thursday night with the ATYL crew, joined by Ben and Dom. And as you can probably tell by our apparel tonight and maybe our faces, Dom, I'm looking at you. It's throwback weekend. So this whole show is going to be based off of ranking the throwback schemes. So glad that you're all tuning in to join us to rank the schemes along with us. And of course, we have some NASCAR news we got to talk about too, because so much happened just yesterday. But first off, gentlemen, how are you? How are we doing? How are we feeling about throwback weekends?
I'm just disappointed that I can't grow a mustache like Dom Joseph over here.
That's
Like I just got this
impressive.
little like scribbling stuff going on. So
Listen, I always go beard. I never ever
Yeah.
go mustache, and you can see why. But no, it's my rookie year. Bring it in 1993.
Oh,
So
you're committing to the bit.
I'm really excited about my rookie year in the Winston Cup.
It's incredible.
what was it like driving the Baby Ruth machine?
Listen, I'm with Chevy now, so I can't really comment on driving a Ford Thunderbird. But I really appreciate Bill Davis for for all the opportunities he gave me.
Oh, goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. Yeah, well, we will definitely get to our thoughts on the truck throwbacks and everything in between. We'll get to those later. But before we throw it back, let's keep things present. Talking
Before
about
we throw my back out.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Yeah. Before we injure ourselves, let's go and talk about Kansas. Dom, you were obviously there in person, and I'm very jealous that you were. Talk about your experience there and just overall. I mean, our thoughts on that incredible end to the race, even though it was at the cause of a caution, but and still incredible.
Yeah. I felt so bad at the beginning because it seemed like leading up to that weekend, it wasn't going to rain Sunday, and it just wouldn't go away for the longest time. Right after Bubba Wallace Q&A, we went right back into the infield for a Chase Elliott Q&A, and that was right around noon. And the sky was just looking weird. And I was like, please don't tell me it's going to do this.
Weird.
Please don't tell me. And then it started raining. But thank goodness we got the race in, because I was saying the whole time, listen, I don't want to come back tomorrow. This place has lights. I'll stay here all night if I have to. And we actually got it started at a very good time. And, we were racing under very, very, very light raindrops to start. So I'm glad that we didn't panic and just keep running yellow laps. We got it going and we got it racing. And my gosh, that first stage was incredible.
Whew.
That first stage was awesome. The 20 laps of Kyle Larson and Ross Chastain trading the lead back and forth was such fun racing. And we weren't even racing for the win yet. So that was cool to see how, because of how hard those guys were racing, obviously, naturally, it brought third and back closer to the battle for the lead. So everyone got involved. So that was awesome. And then, what can you say about the finish? That was incredible. And gutted for Chris Buescher, gutted for fourth performance. Because now that's twice now this year that they've come up short in a photo finish to getting their first win of the season. And we're closing in on Memorial Day. So
yeah,
it's tough for Ford Performance. But, Kyle Larson's a wheel man. That's all I can say about that 5 car and that 5 team. Cliff Daniels is the modern day Chad Knaus, and
100%.
They are just kicking butt right now, and that is challenge accepted for Larson against Denny Hamlin.
Yeah, the finish of that race was crazy, and I was incredibly gutted for Chris Buescher, and because it would have been and it could have been Ford's first one of the year. And I will say I was really looking forward to seeing that race finish out under the green, where our leaders were losing fuel, and you saw Truex go to the front. And sorry, Ben, about that, but it was one of the closest finish. It was the closest finish in NASCAR history. Let me correct myself for a second, which absolutely insane. So I don't know. I mean, good sign for Ford, though. Noah Gragson was very consistent during the race. Chris Buescher, Ryan Blaney was not great this race, but we saw other drivers in the Ford camp come to the front and stay there, which is a positive. So though they're not performing the best this season and they don't have a win, we're at least starting to see the gears turn a little bit, hopefully in a right direction, a positive direction. Anything else about Kansas that we want to talk about?
I just think that Kansas is really its stock is skyrocketing right now
Yeah.
for how good of a track it's been. The
Mhm.
Kurt Busch victory against Larson, that was a great battle for the win. Bubba pretty much dominated fall 22, and then what happened last year with Denny and Larson, and then Tyler Reddick's 3 wide move for the win. So, I mean, it's cooking right now. So
I
Mhm.
mean,
it's been pretty awesome for Kansas Speedway. I've been fortunate enough to be a part of the last 3 races there. So um, it's been incredible.
I will say I was kind of shocked that 2311 really wasn't a factor. I mean, Reddick kept getting into the wall. Bubba unfortunately got caught up in an incident with a few other drivers. There was a four wide, 3 wide move, something like that, and he got caught up in the shuffle of it. But it just wasn't truly a contender that race. So hopefully in the fall, 2311 gets back at it. But this was just not their weekend at Kansas. But it truly, I will say, one of my favorite races to watch during the year, whether it's spring or fall. Some point got to make it out there, but overall, good weekend at Kansas. Good to see your all's thoughts in the comments as well. Let's talk about some NASCAR news. We'll start off with the news that broke yesterday. Very surprised by this. I think we all were, but at the end of the day, a lot of people were like, I'm not surprised. So we'll hear your takes too. But Race Hub on June 11th, they'll have their last show. It's ending. Kelly Crandall broke the news on racer.com. Where there's really no reason behind it. Like none of us were made aware as to the reason. We can all speculate, but it's going to end. So what are our thoughts on that kind of out of the blue news? It's such a big deal, right?
Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah.
First and foremost, my heart and hopes go out to everyone that did lose their job on this show. That sucks a month out, especially to be told that. I mean, it's a month, and sometimes that's more notice than other productions give. It sucks for those folks that worked on that show and probably have been a part of it since freaking day one.
Yeah.
This had kind of some writing on the wall, though, if I'm honest about it. They did a lot of stuff that was cost cutting, that was saving. You went from a full blown studio set to a chroma key set, which, for those of you who don't know production, just a giant green screen set, which is just to save money at the end of the day and make your studio space very minimal at the end of it all. And I think about this a lot, especially towards the, and I'll get to this, my heartfelt thing for the Speed Channel too. I thought about this a lot in that FS1 really used this show as a filler most of the time. Like, obviously it had its slate on like weeknights from 6 to 7 or from 6 to 6:30 for a while, but then 6 to 7. But then especially you'd see a lot on weekends. They would run the best of Radioactive or the best of their story pieces or so on and so forth. So it very much become a filler for content on that channel by the end of its run. This sucks though, because this is like the last thing that's connected to Speed Channel.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking about people like this is it. Like nothing lived besides Race Hub when they switched over to FS1. Like this stinks. Like I hate that for Speed Channel. I love because I was a Speed Channel kid. Most of us probably in the chat are, and most of us here are. I don't know. Taylor, you came in a little younger to the sport, but like Speed Channel was the jam. Like you would, Dom, you can relate to this. You'd get home from Friday school and happy hour would be on, and you watch that, and you just have John Roberts on the call on NASCAR race day with Kenny Wallace and Jimmy Spencer, and Wendy Venturini's doing pit stuff with Ray Dunlap. Like that was the jam, and now this is all we had. And even then, this is obviously, I was a fan of it when it was the 30 minutes and it was Steve Burns on host and you would have a segment with Jimmy Spencer, but they grew that to an hour and I started to lose a little bit of attention. And ever since it's been an hour, I feel like it's been a little long in the tooth already. Mm-hmm. It was the same way I felt about NASCAR Now with ESPN. Like 30 minutes is pretty tight, pretty concise. You can hold it together. Anything more than that gets a little iffy for me personally, but I hate this for the people that are involved. I hate it for the people that have been involved since day one. And this continues kind of just this, I don't want to use this word, but I'm going to use it anyway. Disrespect. It feels like Fox is giving to NASCAR. So,
and I will say, like, first off, working in the media space is unstable at the end of the day with how the media landscape is changing too. Like a lot of my friends that went into broadcast news, for instance, at the end of college, either have already moved on or have lost their jobs because it's just unstable, right? And when you're working on anything that's broadcast related with how things are shifting to social media, a lot more audiences are going to social media, YouTube, etc., to get a lot of their news. So it could be a viewership thing. It could be where the audience is going. It could be budget cutting, which I'm sure has a lot to do with it. I hate it for all those people that put their blood, sweat, and tears into the show and made it what it is, because we got a lot of really good information from it. I think though with Ben, we talked about this a little bit with how the news cycle is now. It's 24/7. It does not stop. By the time a lot of content gets to Race Hub, it could be a little bit older, but I did love when they brought drivers on, broke down some things that maybe a content creator or even too like another show like wouldn't be able to cover. So I really am going to miss it. I would assume, and you would think that with the new TV deal starting in 2025, something's going to fill that gap in some way, shape, or form, whether it is another podcast, which to be quite honest, I don't know if we need more podcasts, but whether it's that, or whether it's a web show, whatever it is, I would hope that they would utilize the talent and the production team that they would lose through this and put them working, I guess, have them work on something else in the future that's bigger and better. But that's my hope for it. Obviously we don't know what the future is, what it looks like in terms of, Fox and what they're doing here in terms of Race Hub and why they ended it, whatever. But I don't know. I just hope for the best for those people, because I've seen it happen before to people in this industry, and I'm gutted for everyone. So, yeah, and then Radioactive too. What happens to that?
I bet you Fox will still produce that.
I hope they do.
Yeah, it'll probably be. I mean, that's won them Emmys, so that's probably going to be an award series, is my guess.
Mm-hmm.
More than anything, I do want to. I think it was Beer Money. Yeah, Wind Tunnel slaps, man. I'll like find old episodes and clips on YouTube and watch that stuff regularly, and I'm loving it, man.
Oh yeah, Lucas Oil on the Edge.
Oh,
Gears used to be on.
That's back.
Gears used to be on right before Race Hub. So, and I remember, so for those that don't know what Gears is basically, it's literally just a guy restoring cars in his garage.
Stacey David, man.
Yeah, and it just showing you what he's doing.
That was like my high school childhood.
I used to be so annoyed by it, but I caught myself like putting on Speed Channel an hour early so I could watch Gears before it would start. So
good.
Yeah. But it's tough. It's unfortunate, but it makes sense now because, I mean, if you want to know what's going on in NASCAR, you're not going to wait for 6 o'clock. You're going to go to Bob Pockrass's Twitter account. So it's the nature of the beast. And even with what Radioactive's concerned, if I want to watch Radioactive, I wait for it to be posted on social media because I know it's going to be.
Yeah.
So I wait for a commercial-filled TV show for it to eventually happen midway through. So that's the unfortunate part because, I grew up watching Race Hub. I came into the Speed Channel game a year and a half before they shut it down. I started in 2012 is when we finally got the channel. And I took in all of 2012. I think that's why I ended up falling in love with NASCAR as much as I did now because I had Speed Channel and would tape Race Hub every day so I wouldn't miss it. Yeah.
I mean, it really did cultivate a love for motorsports or a continued love of motorsports for a lot of people. And I think
you had more thing. I was
go for it.
Like what Ben was saying, like how it was the last thing left from Speed Channel. Like for those that don't realize how much Speed put into NASCAR, there was NASCAR Race Hub Monday through Thursday? I don't think they did Friday.
As Monday through Thursday, and it started off as a 30-minute, it's like a 30-minute show. It'd fill in at 6 to 6:30.
Yeah. And then you would have all the practices on Speed, qualifying on Speed, if not on Fox. NASCAR Race Day was on Speed. It was literally what College Game Day is today for ESPN. It was an hours-long pre-race show right at the racetrack. And then the race would be on Fox, and then NASCAR Victory Lane was on Speed Channel. So a whole post-race show. So, I mean, you couldn't.
And sometimes you'd have the Monday post-race show that was the roundtable of Jimmy Johnson and Michael Waltrip and Steve Burns hosted. No, so there was like a post-race Monday thing that like they would all sit in like laid-back chairs, and it like this may have ended before you got.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah,
but it would be like those three and someone else. Yeah, it was a little bit before you, but they would like sit there and like run through the race and run through how Chad's race went with Jimmy, and then run through Michael if he was there and talk about storylines. Like that was normally on Monday nights, and then it would like that was before Race Hub became a thing too. So, but like they did that, Like they did so much. They would do the Budweiser duel like qualifying show where they would get up on stage and pull the flags out of them.
The shootout when they
Like-
would pick the beer cans.
Yeah, like that stuff, man. Like that's what they did, and that's the love that I have for the sport stems from that and that channel and what they did.
No doubt.
Man,
And
yeah.
all the truck races were on Speed.
Yeah, every single truck race was on Speed, man. Simple times.
I hope they find something to fill the gap, for sure. But there's no replacing what's lost, though. That's the thing. So that sucks. I did realize as we were talking, speaking of like present day news, that I forgot to show you all the points. I don't know if y'all care about this, but I'm going to show it anyway. So, yeah. So
that's right. Yeah, because I didn't pick. Yeah,
you didn't pick this week. Rob had his third strike, so he is out of contention for the points this year, which means it is the four of us.
Four-man race.
You have one strike, but all the rest of us don't have any, but you'll be good. You had a busy weekend.
I already submitted my picks.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. I
submitted them yesterday.
Ben.
Through the Gmail to see if I have any sent things.
Yeah, I did that this afternoon. I was like, oh, but there are the point standings in it. If you're curious, I'll show you the Cup Series point standings right now in case you're wanting to know. Kyle Larson, of course, with the second one of the season, and there's how things shake out. Yeah, let me change this a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better. There we go. We don't need to talk about this just so you all know what's going on. Sorry, forgot to show you all. But that said, next piece of news, which some of you guys alluded to in the comments actually, is Dale Jr.'s news that he'll be joining the TNT and the Amazon Prime broadcast for their kind of summer months of broadcasting next year in 2025, which for me, I think is great because it gives him the chance to focus on his team during the playoffs in the Xfinity Series. He won't have to split his focus. I think that's a positive for him as a team owner and as, a broadcaster. So I'm excited about it. I think too, I mean, we've talked about this before as well when the news was speculated, but the fact that they're bringing somebody in that an audience already trusts and likes is huge. So I'm a fan. I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you guys agree.
I mean, that just shows where Dale Jr. Download's going to live next year. So.
Yep. 100%.
I don't know if that means it's going to become paid content or not. Like you have to pay to get to see it or listen to it. I think because it's a podcast, maybe not, but never know.
Well, here's my thought process with that. And I'm going to take it back to the Race Hub news. If the Dale Jr. Downloads content starts to exclusively live, because I know they post stuff on YouTube, obviously, but live on like TNT or Prime or something like that, that does give Fox a window on like YouTube to post their content. Now, their revenue would be based on viewership. They want to have like a signed deal, obviously, but because I feel like Dirty Mo Media has such a big stake in YouTube content right now, like they'd be directly competing, and I don't think Race Hub or whatever would replace it, I should say, would get as much viewership. So there's, I mean, again, possibilities thinking about media and how it's distributed and stuff like that. But that's actually an interesting thought that's probably where that content could go next year. One of those two places. Yeah. Huh. But yeah, I'm missing so many comments. I am so sorry. Yeah, John said that Junior will be a great addition to Amazon Prime Video and TNT booths. Now we need to bring my thoughts. Now we need to bring Alan Bestwick back to be the main announcer. If he's willing to come back, there should be no doubt in anyone's mind that it should be him.
Sure,
no doubt.
I think if I'm Alan Bestwick, at least I'm paying attention to how much everyone's clamoring for him.
Yes.
And all I'm doing is raising my number. All I'm doing is raising my number. So everyone wants me back, so I'm a hot commodity. So meet my number and I'll come back.
Yeah.
That's what I would do if I'm Alan Bestwick. I'm a businessman.
Yeah. I mean, everybody wants to see him back. Like, negotiate that. If I don't even, again, we don't even know if he's in talks of coming back, but I would love to see it. So
I think we all would.
We all would love to see it.
Read.
We've all seen the comment, like NASCAR needs its own network as another thing that we've all seen before. Would be interesting for sure. But yeah, no, definitely should bring him back 100%. Let's see. What other news do we got here? Oh, I did want to bring this up. Well, wait, hold on. Psych. There's a piece of news I totally skipped over. My bad. Michael McDowell. Duh. So obviously announced Wednesday morning that Michael McDowell was going to leave Front Row Motorsports. And then teased his next adventure. And his next adventure is with Spire in the number 71, obviously meaning that Zane Smith is not going to be in that ride. next year. It was a 1-year deal with Spire. He was on loan from Trackhouse. Trackhouse holds his driver contract. So we all kind of knew at least Zane Smith leaving was probably in the works. But Michael McDowell leaving Front Row, that's kind of crazy. Do we see this as a downgrade or an upgrade for Michael McDowell? I think it's a positive for one, a negative for another, but
I feel like it's lateral.
it could be lateral. Yeah.
Like
moving to the side.
It's moving to the side. You're just moving manufacturers in the number. It feels like I talked about this with a couple friends. It's weird because like you're going from a team that he did win with twice, and he made the playoffs with like I think 3 times technically. And you're going to a team that hasn't done that and hasn't won a race and hasn't really proven much. And granted, they're newer. Like Front Row's been around since 2011. So like,
well, and McDowell is really good at building teams. Like he's really good at building them up. So this definitely I think is a positive for Spire.
He is. I think that veteran. I like. It's weird because like he's a veteran, but like you've got him going over there. You've got LaJoy, who arguably is a veteran of the sport now.
Yeah.
And you have Carson Hocevar, who like could use some mentoring, but it's just I don't know. It's a weird vibe over there. It's a very lateral move. I just want to know when we put Zane Smith on fraud watch. He's on my fraud watch already. So.
Oh.
Yeah. Zane Smith is.
Zane Smith's on fraud watch in my opinion. So.
I don't know about that. I mean, I get it because it's been a very rough rookie year for him.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think he's better than how he's been driving.
I mean, possibly, but right now he's on fraud watch for me because he is not doing anything good at all.
He's having a rough go this year, but I just keep reminding myself that he's just a rookie.
Didn't we see him race better in RFK equipment when he took over for Chris Buescher?
He did a little when the 2 races that he filled in or whatever, the 1 race or whatever. It was Gateway because it was such a forgettable race.
It was
Gateway.
Yeah.
It's such a forgettable track. I forget I'm near it, and I'm like, oh, it's Gateway.
I remember that one because it was right after the 600, right? And we were like, oh, I wonder what happened. And then it was, so that's in my memory. But I do agree with Dom. I think Zane Smith is better than I think we've seen this season for him. But the fact that he's dead last in points and there are drivers that have had points penalties this year and they're way ahead of him, like that's just concerning. So, I mean, there's possibilities to where he could go. Yes.
I want to know. I'm not saying he's a fraud. I'm saying he's on fraud watch, meaning at any moment he could totally just fall apart. And I'm like, I'm right. It was right to put him on fraud watch. So I just want to preface that. I'm not saying he's a fraud. He's going on that track though.
Okay. So. Fair. No, I think that's fair. 100%. I think he's a driver right now that we're wanting to see more from. That doesn't mean that he's, a fraud or not. It's just, we'll see. I mean, there's possibilities to where he could go for next year. There's a lot of theories. My number one theory, and I know, Dom, you have another one as well, is that maybe Trackhouse is getting a charter, SHR. There's rumors that they're selling charters, potentially their whole operation, according to an article from Matt Weaver. And that Trackhouse is probably requesting info about a charter from SHR, and they're going to buy it and put Zane Smith on their team like they talked about when Zane Smith signed on. Dom, you had another theory, though, that I think is equally likely about the 16.
Did I? I don't remember.
I think you did. Was that Adam?
I said that.
You said that. Ben, share your theory.
I mean, it just like everyone's so worried about this Stuart Haas charter situation. I'm more looking at the 16 for Colleague.
Yeah.
Like it could be a situation that they sell that charter or like they continue that. Like Trackhouse and Spire already have a relationship because Shane Van Gisbergen is the Trackhouse kid that's kind of awkwardly weaseled into the Colleague lineup for some reason. So like it makes sense to just say, hey Zane, we're gonna slot you back over to the 16 car full time. Like I totally feel like that could be an easy landing spot for him if because I mean what the BJ McLeod charter was 40 million more than that maybe.
Yeah.
No, so like I know Trackhouse is probably stacked. They have Mr. Worldwide money floating around in that bank account, but incredible. I don't necessarily think that they're going to be willing to drop 40 million plus because they're probably going to say that was 40 million. We want at least 50 or we're not selling. I could easily see them not buying a charter from SHR right now. So
because you're also buying a charter that's won a race.
Yeah. So it's one of those things of like, it's possible, but like it's hard because you're buying into you're doing that. Then you're on top of that, you're bringing in a whole nother team. So that's what 3 full-time cars for Trackhouse. That's a lot.
That's
I
a
still feel like
lot.
that's a lot.
And
So-
based off of
think about how rarely they
52.
bring the 91 to the track.
That's true.
exactly.
And they're not even bringing it to the All-Star race.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and so I don't know.
You hear that, BJ McLeod? Get that Chevy back out, boy.
You think, now going full conspiracy here,
Oh, I love
the
this. Go
reason
for it.
why they're not running the 91 at all this year is to save money for the charter.
That's a thought that crossed my mind. I'm
A
glad
genuine
you said it.
possibility.
Yeah.
Or they maybe
You know,
just
as Jeff Gordon, I know a thing or two about winning money. So,
Oh my God.
he had that ready to go.
Yeah,
Wow.
You have that ready to go. No.
I know a thing or two about money and winning it and making it. So
So incredible.
I was
love the
waiting. I was
commitment.
waiting for a good segue to put this on.
We're all about having good segues. Nice segue. For sure. Goodness gracious. Yeah, the last piece of news I wanted to talk about has to do with the
Was
All-Star
Zane Smith being on
race.
Fraud Watch?
No.
2022 truck champion. He deserves a ride.
He does. He has a championship on his
Oh,
resume.
if we're gonna go with that, let's talk about Brett Moffitt then.
I'd give
Oh.
him one. I'd put him in the 48.
Oh. There it is.
Before we go down
There
this
it
road, let me change the subject.
It
Oh,
is
where did they put him in?
27, and we have our first 48 call out.
is. Oh, jeez.
Talking about
Sorry,
the
Taylor, continue.
All-Star race, the All-Star
Hey, Mel,
fan
You are an
vote.
all-star.
Great song. Fantastic
Get
song.
your game on.
We've all seen the campaigns by Carson Hocevar, which are clever, very well done. We
The
have
cameos were the best.
that's clever. That
That
is
was
so
hilarious.
clever.
That was
I
hilarious.
like Kaz Grala's tweet afterwards where he was like, I have trust issues now after this weekend. Like, I feel you, brother. I'm right there with you.
Well, and then Anthony Alfredo afterwards, he goes, I knew exactly what I was doing. He goes, 100%, I knew exactly what this was for. But the fan vote standings, alphabetical order, top 10 right now. We've seen Carson Hocevar have a great campaign. Justin Haley, they came out with another video today. But right now, alphabetical order, who has the most fan votes? Josh Berry, Alex Bowman, Chase Briscoe, Ty Gibbs, Noah Gregson, Justin Haley, Carson Hocevar, so it's working. Eric Jones, Corey LaJoy, and Bubba Wallace in alphabetical order, top 10 in terms of fan votes for the All-Star race. So
Just gonna keep my thoughts to myself.
keep your thoughts to yourself. Oh, dear God. So there's that. And then, yeah, Matt
Go
Benedetto
vote.
confirmed for the rest of the season for Xfinity. That's another piece of news we left out.
Oh, yeah. Matty D's Viking Motorsports, which is a name for a team.
Also known as
What is
RSS Racing. Let's cut the bull crap.
Let's
No,
yeah.
Same font.
Yeah, same thing. But yeah, that's news we didn't cover. So thanks for bringing that up, Adam. Yeah, host of our 2024. Hey,
Right.
he's
The real winner of democracy.
yeah. My God. So of course we'll know during All-Star weekend who wins the fan vote. But keep
Which is
voting.
like next weekend, right?
Oh wait, seriously?
All-Stars next week.
Yeah. Like it's All-Star weekend's upon us.
We were just in January, I swear to God.
Time has no
we were just
meaning,
in
guys. My
January.
birthday's tomorrow.
I forgot to bring I had fruit snacks. I didn't bring cake, but I brought fruit snacks.
We also live in different states, so it's fine.
Hey, it's okay. Everyone wish Ben a happy early
No,
birthday in the
don't.
chat. Make sure to tag him on social media tomorrow too, wishing him
Don't
happy
do that.
birthday.
Please don't do that.
Do it.
Drop a
shouldn't
1
have
in the
done
chat for Ben.
Yeah, drop a 1.
Drop an F in the chat, if anything.
I do want to say that Kevin Harvick, he will be racing practice. I believe it's practice for
And
the All-Star
qualifying.
race in qualifying for Kyle Larson. So he'll be pulling the double. So
Oh, it's the month of May. It's
yeah, the month of
like
May.
it's finally the month of May. This is such a fun time.
I know. Speaking of fun times, segue. Throwback schemes. Let's get into ranking them. Tier list, everybody. In the description of this live, if you are on YouTube and Facebook, you should see a link to where you can rank your tier list along with us. And if you're on Twitch and or Twitter, I've posted something about it so you can find it somewhere. But here we go. So starting off, I believe, Ben, these are your top 3 favorite paint schemes that are not from the Cup Series.
Sure.
I think this is
Yes, this is mine.
you. Okay.
Yes. So if I'm gonna rank these, like number 1 is hands down to Brennan Poole, Hot Wheels Kyle Petty car. Like that just I like what Alf Prime did, and Alf Prime did this, and then the Young's Motorsports did the Mellow Yellow car, which was really cool. I just love this Hot Wheels car. I love when teams change the number font. That really helps sell it.
I love it.
And the sponsor, from what I understood from Tommy Joe Martins, was they went wholesale in on like doing the scheme too and changing their fonts as well. So I was a big fan of that. Probably second for me is going to be the Cale Yarborough Hardee's throwback. Oh, I love that Oldsmobile. Oldsmobile is sexy. I love that scheme. Like, it's such a simple scheme, but Cale's such a cool dude. And like they changed the number. The sponsor went in on it. Like, that's the good stuff at the end of the day. And then third for me was the 38 that Lane Riggs is running. There's something about growing up in Eastern Kentucky and just drinking RC Cola because you couldn't afford Pepsi. And so RC slaps, and it's like one of those, like, I can see a can and it's just like it's burned into my taste buds. So that's why I picked the RC car, or the RC truck, excuse me, is third on my list.
I love that.
A lot of blue, a lot of simple schemes, but I love them still.
You know what? Simplicity for
look
paint
good.
schemes are key. They look clean. I
They're
like
bangers.
them. Let's see. Dom, I think you're up next. Yeah.
Mine.
Basically the same.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, the first two for sure. Yeah, love the Hot Wheels car. I mean, Ben is 100% right. If you commit to the number font too, that sells the car.
Yeah.
So that's very well done by Alpha Prime. That's really cool that they were able to do that.
Wow, 3 of these guys.
Alpha Prime has great
definitely.
products.
Yeah, there's a theme there. I didn't even notice that actually. The RC truck, yeah. I had the RC truck diecast when I was little, so yeah, it was just cool to see that again, because it was one of those. I'm going through the list, and I mean, I really don't have a connection to the RC truck, but it was one of those like, oh my gosh, I remember you. So I put that on the list. Just cool to see it again. And then, of course, the SVG. It's so cool for the New Zealander to shout out the Australian with that the Stanley DeWalt colors. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty much to a T, exactly the same. They committed to Colleague and did the yellow number on the top, which, if we're really going to get uber specific, it's the Daytona Marcos Ambrose car. But
gotta get specific.
That's really, really cool. Sorry, email.
It's okay.
They put Ambrose's name on the passenger name rail too.
That's awesome.
That's badass.
In the petty font.
This is really cool. Yeah, I remember the 2012 Watkins Glen race like it was yesterday. I was losing my mind over it. Yeah,
such a good race.
A great looking car. And I mean, for
great.
A paint scheme that you could kind of tell was just thrown together back in 2011 and 2012, because the number font doesn't even match the paint scheme. But still, it's pretty sick.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one. That one was close on my list.
What I'm really upset about is no one threw back to this beauty. I just don't understand why no one would go back to this beautiful car.
Yeah.
It's got rainbows on it. It's so pretty.
It's pretty.
Anyways.
But that's fine. We'll see it next year. I can guarantee it. We'll see it next year.
It'll be back.
It'll be back. I too went with like the Hot Wheels throwback, because it's the first diecast my grandma gave me to add to my collection, or to start my NASCAR collection. So for me, it holds special meaning. Also, like wheels, I played with Hot Wheels as a kid, so that was cool. So to see that as a throwback is cool.
I just realized something about the Hot Wheels. They've changed the Alpha Prime logo to be the petty logo on the right there by the headlight.
Shut up! Oh, that's cool.
Oh, dude,
Okay,
Ryan Pistana, man.
Ryan is a goat. Oh, I love that. Love it. I also like the Cole Custer's throwback to Johnny Sauter. I just think that paint scheme looks really cool. So I don't have any ties to it whatsoever. I just think it looks great.
I would love that more if they show up in a trailer like that.
That'd be badass.
That would be so cool. Like, just full on.
Put it in a yellow transport truck.
Yeah.
Go for it.
I will say I love I think SHR did this with all of theirs. The renders that they did with the open trailer or old school trailer. Like, I really love that. That made me really happy, that design.
The graphics were awesome for SHR for these. They were really good. And then last one is the Stuart Friesen, Jimmy Johnson 600 win throwback. I just think it looks great. So that's just me. But now we'll get to the actual tier list. So we'll start off with, we're going to go in order of like driver number, not like alphabetical order, but like driver number. Obviously, some drivers do not participate. We're going to not judge, but we're also going to judge a little bit, but that's fine. It's cool. But we're going to start off with Ross Chastain, the number 1. It's a Busch Beer throwback from a logo for Busch Beer in the early 2000s. I think this car looks great. but I have some opinions on the meaning of throwback weekends and doesn't fit the vibe. That's just me though. But I think the scheme looks great. I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, the blue chrome numbers, I can't wait to see in person. I think it's just
Gorgeous.
I think it's gonna bring it all together. Yeah, it's tech. I mean, if you want to get super specific and get away from Busch Light is throwing back to their older logo, it's Kevin Harvick's 2016 paint scheme.
That's fair.
So I get it's like that was 8 years ago. So not necessarily
My back.
if you but I think the car looks great. I don't think it's a Busch paint scheme. I don't think we put it in the Busch series list, but it's a great looking race car though. So
I do have. Let me make this a larger image. Sorry, guys. Let me. Yeah, I made sure we had a little C category in there for Busch, just in case. Just in case. You never know. You never know. Anyone in the audience that doesn't know, it's an inside joke from like what, a year and a half ago, 2 years ago at this point.
Probably 2 years now.
Yeah. My God, we're old. So yeah, I don't think this is an A or B. Do we think B or C?
I said this was an A.
This is an A?
I'd say put it at B.
I think B as well. Yeah.
Okay.
We can go back to it. We can go back to it.
You were trying to put it at C, so I figured split the difference and put it at B.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Because I think it's pretty enough for me to put it in B, but like when I think about Throwback Weekend, I'm always thinking like, oh, we throw it back to. They weren't specific in saying this was a Harvick throwback scheme. That's like the marketing of the scheme, in my opinion, was like, ooh. So
it just looks exactly like it.
It's just a little bit, you know?
It just happens to look exactly like it.
We got.
They do this every year. They do. I'm going to say this and I apologize. They do
go
this
for it.
shit every year. It's the same freaking car. It's the same.
Yeah, I'm going to say I'm not thrilled by this throwback. I think it's easy. It's too easy.
And it's like, we have such a great opportunity. Like, and I get it. You probably have not only the most iconic number in motorsports, but in sports.
Yeah.
Like, people know that
Hands
number
down.
3 font. They know it. Like, I get it, but also like you did this a couple years ago with RC's 3. Like,
yeah,
do something that's not this, please, because you've done this every time. You literally did this for your 50th anniversary. Like,
yeah,
stop. Just stop. Get some help.
And can I just? I feel like as we dog on this paint scheme because I'm in the agreement with you, Ben. I don't like it. I should say this is not a dig at the designers. This is not a dig at the sponsors. Yes. This is just our opinion. And I will say sometimes sponsors don't want to go all in on paint schemes to keep brand identity. And I totally get that. So I do want to just preface, we love our designers. We would be lost without you.
What public park is this photo taken at?
That is a really good question. I have no clue.
Where is this at?
Part of me's wondering if that's like the RC Vineyard, but that there's no way.
Oh, that's fair. This looks like a public park in like Kannapolis or something.
You never know. It could be. So we're F or D?
This is F. This is F.
Dom, are you in agreement?
I'd say D.
D.
That's fair.
What upsets me is the number's white.
Yeah.
And like because of that, it's like, okay, so it's Earnhardt without being Earnhardt. But if you don't want it to be Earnhardt, then why run the 3?
My thing is there's other paint schemes I would put in F before this one, and we'll get to them. So I'm gonna put this in D.
It's low D.
Yeah.
Giggity.
All right. Next scheme. Josh Berry. I throw back to Ronnie Childers. I think this looks great. Quite honestly, it's pretty spot on in a sense, I think.
I like it, and I think it was very cool that they let Rodney put his name on the rail.
That's neat. I like that.
I like this one. This one's cool.
I put this at B. This is a cute little one. Like I enjoy it a lot.
I agree.
It's cute.
It's cute. It's cute that they let him do that. It's cute that it's a throwback to the crew chief. I like when they do the throwbacks to the crew chiefs. Like I think they did Cole Pern one year for the 78 team way back or something like that. But
Greg Ives had one. Alex Bowman, 2-3 years ago? That was cool.
That stuff's cool.
Yeah, I like
All right,
that.
Ben, let's go ahead and have a seat. Just do whatever you want to do. We'll let Taylor have the floor for this one.
I'll have a drink of water. It's okay.
Yeah, we don't need to discuss this, you guys. I'm not as Beer Money did say, I have beat this opinion with a dead horse, basically.
Why are you beating horses?
I don't want to beat horses. It's an expression, folks. It's an expression. But no, seriously, this is literally one of my favorite paint schemes of all time. There's so much nostalgia with it for me. This paint scheme for me reminds me of my childhood. At the same time, it made me want to learn a lot of NASCAR history. So this is an S tier for me. Now, y'all are going to disagree and you're going to kill me. So don't kill me.
I just want to say one thing. I put this in A. I did this at work because
Oh,
no, hear me out.
Oh, hearing you.
I put this at A because personally I prefer Tony the Tiger over this one.
Okay, see, I understand that. Okay, I respect that. I do really like the Tony the Tiger scheme.
Like, if you ask me my favorite Kellogg's car, it's Tony the Tiger. This is like second for me.
Especially when it's like a color chrome version of it. I'm like, that's pretty neat.
So that's why I put this at A. It's good. It's not my favorite. It's solid though. It's a really good throwback.
I will say, Dom and I talked about this. I do love the Tony the Tiger scheme, but this one is like an ugly pretty for me because does it look the best color-wise? No. But it's just nostalgic. That's why I think I have this one over the Tony the Tiger one. But
nice one, a nice bowl of Hendrix.
I love that. That's perfect. Now, I mean, everyone's saying S tier, A+++. Dom, what are your thoughts on this?
It's already going to S, so it really doesn't matter.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean,
this is not a democracy. This is an oligarchy. But you are the leader.
Yeah, I like to think that I'm pretty fair in
S or A,
input.
either or.
It's going into S.
Okay.
We know.
Yeah. Sorry, guys, if you disagree, but this is the one time I will claim that I am the showrunner and.
Yeah, honestly, just looking briefly down the line of what other ones are available, I really can't argue another car for the top. So
yeah,
I've got one. I've got two.
Our next one's a really, really, really good competitor, but it's not S.
It is. First off, Noah Lewis, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. Noah Lewis does such great work. Make sure to follow him, please.
Hello, Noah.
Literally, one of the best. One of the best. So make sure to follow him. Yeah, next paint scheme is really, really good. Let me switch.
It's a Supra.
Is that a Supra?
Is that a Supra? That's a Supra.
Yeah, this one's cool. I think it's, and I love when we do throwbacks. Of course, I like to sometimes keep them NASCAR centric, but when we do throwbacks like outside of NASCAR and celebrate other motorsports too, I love that shit. It's so cool. So,
strike two.
Strike two. We're on a roll today.
This is I'm a big fan of asymmetrical schemes, but like when you can do a really cool symmetrical one, I appreciate it. And this is a very good symmetrical one.
Definitely.
I put this in my B tier, but honestly, I would throw this in A. Like, this is a good one. It's a simple yet really nice one.
Yeah, I love this too. What sells me is the throwback logo as well. The old, the retro lettering. I tell you what, too, the logo looks good in the vents on the hood.
Yeah,
it does.
I think the paint scheme that kind of like works around the vents makes it look even cooler. I hadn't seen this angle yet, so this is really solid. Yeah, it's not beating Larson, but it's an A for sure.
Yeah, when I was looking through like pictures of the schemes, and some of them I just took them from the NASCAR website. Others like I took from like the team socials, and I found this one, and I'm like, this is the photo I'm using because it does this justice. It looks beautiful. I'm okay with an A tier for this. We can discuss if we want to move it, but definitely an A for sure.
Very good looking car.
Sweet. Cool. Oh, thanks, Noah. I appreciate it. I just have to throw that comment up there. Yeah, guys, make sure to follow him, by the way. If you guys aren't, I'll say that another time.
So hard.
He does. He's the hardest worker out there. Puts out great content.
Lots of credit to him.
Yeah, literally is one of the.
Let's blow up his ego more.
Let's do it. That's fine.
You're great.
This one, back to Corey LaJoie's first ARCA East win. Thoughts?
Not great execution, but good reference.
Yeah, good reference, not great execution. I agree.
I put this at B. I didn't think it was that bad. I was disappointed. I think Rob said this in our chat. They should have like put a little 0 in front of the 7. They've done this before. Like they did the 777
Right.
Marty Robbins car. Like
Yeah,
I feel like they could have done more a little.
that was my criticism too. When Rob said that, I was like, "You're right. They could have done it, and they didn't."
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah,
fine. I think it is fine.
I would say C for this one. Like true C, not Bush C.
Yeah.
I just I don't know. I'm with you. It's like, yeah, I like the idea, but it's the 7, not the 07.
Yeah,
And,
the execution's a little off.
Yeah, I don't know. I may be just being tricky.
If it's, I would say this is low B, high C.
Yeah,
I
agree.
love high C.
I haven't had it in a minute, but
I have it
I'm
every
right there
day.
with you.
So I actually agree
I
with
drink
Chandler.
Pepsi. I don't know
Ashley
if you
here.
guys, I drink.
It's a D. Okay. So we have a B, a C, and a D. I would say average that out and put it in the C category, but it's a low C then.
Yeah, I just felt like the execution was off. I mean, there's you can see the resemblance for sure. Like if we pulled it up, like for sure, yeah. But I feel like it's too different. Like the font of the number, awesome. Commend that 100%. Other than that, though, it still feels really
Yeah. It just didn't land for me.
yeah. So we'll put it in C. This next one,
Oh,
I felt really good about this paint scheme. I like it a lot.
Really quickly, I just want to shout out Raging Werewolf for getting the Sega Rally reference in off of the Castrol card. That makes me feel
Oh my
old
God.
now. Oh gosh, my bad.
Thank you for getting our references. We appreciate it. My goodness. But yeah, this great paint scheme, obviously Chase Elliott throwing it back to 2014. Dale's 500 win. It's a great paint scheme, and they did this justice in the throwback. I think it looks phenomenal.
I'll go first.
You go for it.
It looks weird.
Oh
Yes.
no. Well, of course it's gonna look a little weird.
It just looks weird.
I want to note
Oh.
on the render that you sent us of the photos, the UniFirst logo behind the 9 is bigger on the render than it is in that photo. It's really small in that photo as well. So I can see like it looks weird. Like it just looks weird on this car.
Yeah. I would say at the highest a B.
Oh, I hate that.
I put it in C.
Well, okay, so I guess even now, because I would put it in A. That's just
So it's a B.
mean. So it's a B.
Mhm.
Man, yeah, I mean, we kind of all over the board. As a Chase Elliott fan, a B is what James is saying.
That's fair. I mean, that's like I also just don't have that much of emotional connection to Junior during this time. For me personally.
I loved that National Guard car. I thought that
Yeah.
car was one of the best. I think the original one, the 08 one, was the best. Because I mean, listen, Ben, you know this as well as I do. When those paint schemes got unveiled, it turned the world upside down because it
Oh my God, I bought the T-shirt.
it confirmed that it was actually real, that he was no longer driving the Budweiser car. But no, the gold numbers on that car are so good looking. And when he won the 500, it just made that car look even better. Had to snag that car for the collection.
Oh, I need to add that to my collection. So, I might be looking for that one.
She's in the other room. I'd get her, but but no, it's such a great car, and that race just means so much. But yeah, I love the attempt, and I love how much Dale Jr. loved it. It's just weird.
Hold on.
Because like
if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this right.
The car works on a Gen 6 paint scheme, on a Gen 6 car. It just doesn't work on a next gen car.
I mean, that's
Taylor, I'm sending you something right now to show on stream.
A link?
It's a photo. You'll understand when you see it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, this it just looks weird on the car. I don't think this scheme fits on a next gen. Yeah, Taylor got the text message. If we're gonna do this, right. We're gonna throw it.
Do you want me to show this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let's see. Let me put this in. Okay, let me share this.
For context, I was in 5th grade. Yeah. Look at that face. Look at that. That was me.
Oh yes.
Wearing that shirt that I got at JCPenney. I was so proud. And I'll never forget this. I wore that shirt, and then immediately at recess, I ran outside, and some girl with a slushie swung her hand. I wasn't ready for it, and she smacked me in the chest, and I got red all over it.
You got
red
slushy.
slushy. It was such a sad day.
Dale
Oh.
Earnhardt Jr. is the reason I tried energy drinks for the first time. My first energy
Wow.
drink was an amp.
I like how I don't have teeth on like that one side of my mouth. Like it looks like I have no teeth.
But look at you. You're in grade school and sponsored by Mountain Dew and National
Heck
Guard.
yeah, man.
What
That's all I
a
need.
win. What a
In
win.
the guard.
I'm in the guard.
Yeah, B for me
Incredible.
though is the end of the story.
Yeah,
B.
yeah, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that for sure. How iconic. We'll move on to our next game. It's Chase Briscoe throwing it back to his dad and his grandpa, I believe. So,
It's cool.
it's good. It's cool.
It looks good. It honestly just looks like an alternate paint scheme for Mahindra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's very cool. I like the story behind it.
Yeah.
The ones with the stories like this are really cool. I put this in B.
Yeah, B or C for me.
For me, it's C for the scheme in a sense, but B for the story. For me, like I think this. I wish this was one where we could change the font to match. I think that would have sold it for me because I do agree with Dom. It does look like an alternate Mahindra scheme. That's why I'm ranking it a little lower. If the font was changed, I would rank it at a B.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I might put it at a C. We can change it later.
Like people are saying C, so I'm cool with C. Like that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, I see the okay, we see B, C. Yeah, we'll keep it in C, and then we again afterwards we go back through and we change some things a little later because we can be a little indecisive. That's fine. It's all good. I'm indecisive all the time. This one, I thought this one was actually pretty neat. Kaz Gralla, a little throwback here. It's something a little different than I think we've seen before when we've done throwbacks. In terms of
I
just like
didn't know the story behind this, and this is really cool actually.
Is that the official picture that they added with the car, or did you just find
This is one I found separately.
Okay. I like it. I think it's cool because it throws back to a Mustang.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
So I think that's a really cool idea, and they go all out. They put Boss 302 on the side, right next to the number. Yeah, that's actually very neat.
Yeah.
Put this at B.
Yeah,
I'd say B. I mean, it's as much of a translation as you can have, I think, too. With there's
It honestly
varying
kind of
skills with
looks
this,
better
but-
with the gold rims too. Because
I agree.
Like second time the gold rims work.
Yeah, I think that looks good. Let's see. B. Yeah, I would agree. Let's put it at a B. That's fine. I'm cool with that.
It's a very like old school Trans Am scheme, and I like that a lot. It's simple and effective.
Maybe lower B. We'll change where we rank them within the categories. Ben, I'll give you the floor for this one.
Oh, this is my beauty. Like this is, I talk about with Taylor and Dom and the chat about like the Holy Grail cars that I want. That 78 car, that Southern 500 car, that's my Holy Grail. Like that is my white buffalo or whatever they say in whatever. This is like, I love this car. I always love the auto owners cars. I always have. I love color blue. It's my favorite color. But this one, man, this one just does it for me. This one makes me feel all squiggly inside and makes me like, I'll never love a woman like I love these cars and these schemes. And that's God's honest truth. And that is why I put this in S tier.
Ouch.
Ooh, Noah.
Ow.
I don't know what he said. I can't. The chat is not loading for me. Noah.
Noah.
I didn't mean that one. Though. That was an accident.
Everything
Cancel.
else
Ben.
is an A or a B, kind of floating in that range.
No, I will give you 30 seconds to type a response. But if you do not type a response, you are a coward.
Hey, Alex is agreeing. He says throwing it back to your own car is kind of lame. D, we've seen a lot of drivers. The Corey LaJoy throwing it back to his own car. Dale Jr.'s done it. Like,
yeah.
I think with this one, because it's so recent compared to everything else, I think that's why we're seeing it as lame, somewhat.
It's a
but
throwback.
it's spot on.
It's a throwback to a throwback.
This wasn't a throwback though in the original.
Yeah,
Wait.
it was.
What?
Not really.
This was his this was his throwback for the Southern 500 because he had the boat. He had the suit.
Yes, but it wasn't like this wasn't really wasn't really based on anything. It was just like we're gonna do an old school looking scheme, and that was kind of it. So
I was like,
if I still remember correctly,
looking
like
at
he did have the throwback like suit and tie, but it was just like let's do a scheme that looks old. So
looking at it a little longer, I do think this is A or B. But at first, I was thinking, this car would run on a Saturday in the Busch Grand National
Oh,
Series.
oh. Noah.
No,
Oops, I totally meant B minus.
I bullied him. I'm sorry.
I don't know. Well, I mean, I'm not one to
This
speak.
is
You
S
guys
for
know
me.
of the Grand National Series more than I do here, but I think B is where I'm leaning.
I'll give it B.
And I'm an
Then-
S. So do we want to compromise and go to A?
Let's split the difference and go to A.
Let's give her
Do
an
you
A.
want me to actually
I'm
show up to the
okay with that.
Airbnb or?
We want you to show up to the Airbnb. You
I'll
know what
burn
it
it down
does
before you
say?
get-
In all seriousness, I'm not a fan of throwing back to yourself. It's if it's within the last decade. I 100%
fair.
I can agree to that. 100%.
But also, this is almost over a decade ago, which makes me feel old.
So like, hold on. Nope, never mind. I was gonna read into this. I'm not gonna read into it. Never mind.
What? Okay.
Well, okay. What if like Truex was to retire this year and he's like, I'm gonna throw it back to myself, and then at the end of the year I'm retiring. Like, bye.
I mean, that's probably what
Like,
this
homage.
is at the end of the day. That's
Yeah.
probably what this is. And I'm okay with that because even the regular furniture row car, like the normal one, is slightly a throwback to this scheme too.
Yeah.
Like it's the best looking we've had in recent memory. So I wouldn't be surprised if this was his swan song with this car.
Well, my goodness, I remembered I did not. Well, maybe I did share the screen when I changed it. It's in the B. I mean, A category. Sorry, excuse me, A category. It's there. Who's next? Oh, okay. I have some beef with this one.
L, all the biggest L.
This is not a throwback. This is to commemorate 100 years, which is phenomenal. Congrats to DeWalt. But that's not a throwback. You can do that any other weekend of the year. I am sorry. I know this is probably what the company wanted. I get it. No hate. F. Easiest decision.
I'm gonna give this a Z.
I love that. Yeah, that's a clear F. I'm sorry. And actually, you know what? Screw that. I'm not sorry. I'm mad. I'm done now. We're gonna move on. Moving on to Harrison Burton's. This is a throwback to what is this again? The 1953
Glenwood.
Yeah, Glenwood. Yeah.
Oh my gosh! And it has the sand on the side, or like
Yeah.
the parts on the side. Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool. And they played to the swing of the logo.
Yeah, that's
in
really
the
cool.
quarter
I'm like,
panel.
hold on, let me go back
Oh
real quick. Sorry.
Gosh. No,
This needs to be
take it
documented.
off our screen.
It needs to be
Take it off.
documented. Sorry. I need everyone to know that everyone agrees with this.
Holy water, the power of Christ compels you, car, to get off my screen.
Everyone agrees. All right, sorry. I just had to say that because I was like, why is everyone typing F in the chat? And I'm like, oh, because they were still
Beth.
talking about. Okay, sorry.
It's
No,
for
but this
Beth.
one, Dom, I
It's for
agree with you.
The joke's call back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just here to make it.
Oh my god.
I
Yeah.
love this car. I
This is
love this
beautiful.
car. I would give this an A.
I give it an A because the fonts, the swoop.
This is high B, low A for me. So yeah, A.
I'd say A. Yeah, love the fonts. Ben Smith
Harrison
would
Burton's
say
throwbacks have been awesome.
they've been really good. I think last year's was better. I'm
Wood
not
Brothers,
gonna
man.
lie. With the
I
XX,
think the peak for them was 2013, but that's just me.
Oh, the red on
The
top.
Tiny Lund Daytona car.
Uh,
That was the peak for me.
That one was sweet. That one was really
Oh.
sweet.
Some of us aren't feeling the throwback, but some of us do love it. So love to see that.
I think
A?
we're kind of getting to the point with especially with the 21, and I feel like we're also getting this with the 43 as well, where we're just getting really obscure now that it's just like, oh, okay, this is another one that they gotta do. So,
Yeah.
but that's
That's
my
fair.
opinion, and I'm entitled to it.
No, I mean that's fair. That's valid. I get you. I also did want to say we're only focusing on the Cup Series throwbacks this for this tier list. We're not doing Xfinity or Truck. Just FYI. But yeah, no, I agree. Who's next? Joey Logano doesn't have a throwback scheme. That's pretty crazy. I don't know. Dom, do you want to take the floor on this one?
I remember this like it was yesterday. They spelled
Nice.
DuPont
Penske
wrong on the
first,
side though. That's a shame, and I don't know where the Pepsi logo is either. It's normally right underneath DuPont. That's a shame, but they're missing the Winston Cup logo.
Put the Powerade logo on there.
Yeah, Bud pole position isn't there. Our our brake calipers definitely come from Maui. I don't know why their logo isn't there either. No, this
Oh my
is
God.
cool. It's definitely not the most successful Gordon DuPont car, but this was one of the best looking ones. Yeah, this one's really cool. I like it a lot. But I would put this at B. I don't think. I think the 2022 one was their best crack at a Gordon throwback with the next gen.
Unless they do a Rainbow Warrior, that was top.
Yeah, well, that one was really great. But yeah, this one's cool. This is going to be one of those where I got to see it on the actual track to see what it looks like, because the first renders, the fade on the front of the car looked awful on the renders.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping this goes to. I'm hoping this looks a lot more like the true car, but I would put it B at the highest. It's not the rainbow car. It's definitely not the one that I won the 1997 Winston Cup with, which was my second championship for. So that's me there on top with Anyways, but yeah, I would put it B at the highest.
I put this in the C, like high C, low B.
Oh.
It does look good.
I think it looks really good. That's why I'm inclined to put it at an A, but if we have to split the difference, put it at B then.
Yeah, this is an oligarchy.
I guess we're going to split the difference and put it at a B. I'm going to sneeze, so if I sneeze into the microphone, I'm so sorry. Sorry, just FYI.
Flames make me sneeze.
I wanted to prepare everyone just in case. Hold on. I'm good. I'm fine. Oh God, we're going to be okay. We're going to put it in B. We're gonna put it in B. I think that's a paint scheme that hopefully will look better in person than it does in the render. And then I might change my mind completely. I agree with you, Dom, on that one. Cool. Look at my list. This is another one of those that's going straight to F. Because it's not a throwback.
Let's see.
Okay, but it kind of is. Also, make it full screen if we're gonna talk about it.
I think I know where this is going.
Sorry, my Wi-Fi is starting to not do well, so sorry.
We're really gonna turn to the Bush Series podcast. It kind of is. There's the '92 truck that used to exist back in the day, so it kind of is a throwback. It's not great, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of a throwback.
I was gonna say because of the tire mark on the side. It's a throwback to Denny's Pocono car last year.
Oh Jesus! Hold on.
Yeah, David Gilliland, '92.
2018. Here, let me. This isn't a great photo.
I don't think there's many.
Yeah, there's not really many. Never mind. That scheme's different. Yeah, this is an F.
Yeah.
Yeah, because this is a it's 95th anniversary car.
I'll show you 95th anniversary. There's 5 of them right here.
Oh, We're seeing in the chat. I don't care for the 31. That's really harsh.
Neither does the 31.
Oh God.
It's like, why am I having this scheme?
It's gonna go into F. It looks better than the 20 though, for sure. I think.
Oh yeah.
It looks better, yeah.
The next scheme that we have is not based off of another car. It's another just like company logo, throwing it back, a 70s Long John Silver's logo just put on McDowell's.
This is good.
Car.
This is good stuff.
That's cool.
This is fun.
I'm a sucker for old advertisement and logos. There's my coworker in the office has like a shelf of books that's like advertisements from the 50s, 60s, 70s. They're all books. I love this stuff. I eat it up with a spoon. This is a B though for me nonetheless.
Okay.
This shouts Bush Series to me.
Oh,
because it's an all-white car. That's the paint scheme. The paint scheme is the logo. This shouts qualifying to make the show Bush Series.
Oh my God. Okay, so I don't personally care for this. I love the logo. I just don't like it on the car.
What did Fish do to you?
I've never tried Long John Silver's.
It's probably for the best.
Honestly.
I honestly, Tom, if we want to have our first car in
the Bush Series,
let's do it. Let's do it. It gets its own special honor. I think this is a good, good in between.
And we're away.
And we're away. Oh, we got it. I mean, everyone agrees with like normal C tier. We're just making it a little bit more special.
Some spice.
And this is another thing too. I think Noah, C tier. Noah puts it. I love when sponsors allow their old logos to make an appearance. That being said, not the best. I agree, 100%. Yeah,
Good for the
like
Busch
they're
You
they're
had to see
playing
the first
along with
half
the
of the
idea,
game.
but not 100, which is fine. It's cool. We got this Todd Gilliland throwing it back to his car tours day. Pretty cool.
Is Cars Tour Day, not Car Tour?
I've always said Cars tour.
You just said car, so
Oh, sorry.
it's okay.
Cars tour. I was like, wait a second. I was like, what did I do?
This is where like you can go back to the LaJoy car and say, why couldn't we put something in front of the 7? Because you've got 38G on this car. I
Yeah.
think that's really awesome that you could. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
and it's literally,
that's
and it's not like, oh, they had to make it tiny so that NASCAR wouldn't. No, that's exactly how it was in the late models. So that's really cool for me.
it's really cool.
At the highest, a low B for me. I'd say
Is that-
B or C, but it does look really cool. I love the number font. I think the number.
I was going to say the number font is
yeah.
awesome. Oh, people don't like this one though.
What is okay? Hold on. I on this check. There's a logo, like on that third image, or on the image on the bottom left. There's a logo on that check, the yellow and red. It looks like they also have that logo up on the name rail on the 38. I'm trying to figure out what that is. Is that the old Cars Tour logo? Maybe
It might be the old Cars Tour logo.
It might
someone
be.
in chat might be able to help us because I'm a fool.
We're requesting help in the chat.
It is kind of a weaker throwback, but it's still cool.
I like this a lot. I personally think C tier is a little low.
It's like low B, high C.
Yeah. Let's
put it in the back of the B.
Wouldn't see it in the Busch series.
Let's put it at a high. Let's put it at a high C.
Blast. Remember those high C blasts?
No.
Ooh,
Next
I
level. Next level.
Ben, I'll let you take this one. If Rob was here, I would let him take this for sure. But I think
no, this is sick. I put this in S tier. This is awesome.
Yeah.
I love when they pull off modified schemes. It's not as cool because they don't have the Nerf bars painted on, which like Tommy Baldwin's done in the past with the 36 when they've done throwbacks for that, and the 7 that they ran. But like this is sick. I love this. I love these colors. It works really well with what they have already on the hood. I put this in S tier.
I give this an A solely off the colors. I'm a sucker for blue and orange. I think it's next to scarlet and gray. It's the best color combination. And I love these shades of blue, a bright blue and a reddish orange. This is awesome. I put this at an A. If that 41 is blue chrome too, that's just even more of a sell for me. And I like that it's not white, it's a gray. This looks really good. United Rentals looks good on it. This is an A for me for sure. And it looks good on Mustang.
Yeah, I would 100% agree. I think it's an A. I think it's an A.
It's fair.
We'll change the order. I'll just put it there for now. Next up, we have Legacy Motor Club, some throwbacks. This is to honor Lee Petty, 1956 Dodge.
If you're gonna do this, make the white cream.
Yeah, that's my one thing here.
It's a C.
C.
C?
Yes.
It's cool that like they are throwing back to that old like Lee Petty stuff, but like it's a C.
The Petty
It's fine.
75.
Yeah. This ties into the whole thing again, like I said, of now we're just getting into really obscure things for these older teams, and it's like this is kind of hard to follow. So
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, C. We're agreeing with C.
Yeah, I think
we have an
C.
A tier.
Oh, Ben says A.
You have an A tier. We'll put it in C for now.
I know we're moving on, but Ben, I want to hear your reasoning for that being an A.
Ben, let us know your reasoning as we go on to the next car, like Motor Club, the sister car. I think this. I mean, again, it's a font thing too. It looks nice. Honoring Richard Petty.
I put it in B. I thought it was a little bit better than the 42 personally.
Yeah.
So B for this one.
Yeah. It's like the mid of the mid when it comes to these like petty schemes because they all kind of just start to blur together at the end of the day.
Yeah, and that's my thing with their throwback schemes. It's like it's pretty spot on, all things considered, but it does all blur together. let's move on to Tyler
I do like the
Reddick.
touch of the Ski King Eric Jones on the door. That's really cool.
Oh wait,
This-
what?
So there's like
Oh,
there's
that's
SPI
cool.
King, and yeah, it's cool. I like that.
Badass.
I like stuff like that.
All right. This is a Tim Richmond throwback? Yes?
That's fair, Ben.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yes, this is the obscure one that I love.
Yeah.
He like
This
tried
was-
to qualify for a race and couldn't make it or whatever.
This was one of those print out a bunch of old race cars off of Google Images, and you're going to blind pick one. And this is what they landed
Yeah.
on. And I think that's kind of cool
Yeah.
because this is just so random of a car. I think it's cool. Don't know if I like Monster Energy making the whole back of the car black, but this is a B for me, a solid B.
I put it in A, but I put it at the back end of my A.
I would put it at the back end of A, but yeah.
The
I like
Monster Energy logo ruins it for me.
That's what ruins it for me as well. Just like I get it. Trust me, I understand. But
I put it back end of A, but
you know what? Actually, because of that, I kind of want to put it in B.
Put it in B.
Now that I'm
do it.
digesting it.
You won't.
this is an oligarch.
Well, but then the chat's saying A. You know what? I'll put it in
B.
A. We might change it later. I'm putting it in A though. For now.
Plot twist, we
feel-
put it in D.
I feel like no.
B.
My goodness. Okay. Oh, Ben, this is yours. I think you have the floor.
Oh yeah, I really like it, but I also don't like it.
Oh, okay.
I like the executions there. I would have liked a little different execution on the side because it's kind of clustered and I don't love it. Like I would have loved some more craft stuff on the side. Instead, you have a bunch of bread and some hot dogs, which I get because this is that car. It's fine. I put it in C, but high C.
I see.
Yeah, I put this at a B. I think this looks really good. This is one of those Mark Martin paint schemes you forget about because you're so
Yeah,
used
it is
to
very forgettable.
You're used to the Valvoline and the Pfizer and
The AAA.
the Viagra one. But yeah, I mean, I think of Valvoline when I think of Mark Martin, and this is one of those like,
Mm-hmm.
if you didn't watch NASCAR but knew who Mark Martin was, like this is a cool Valvoline alternate.
Mm-hmm.
They just had a different sponsor, so I think this is kind of cool. I'd put this at B or A.
It's like high C, low B for me.
I think for me, low B.
B.
That's what I
Should be.
think.
That's fine.
You won't.
Also,
JP
Mark
thinks
Martin
for
said
me.
it best, by the
Yes.
way. Mark Martin said it best. Drake is soft like tissue.
Ayo.
It's a real tweet.
Incredible.
And Gucci's where it's at, ladies and gentlemen.
This paint scheme, Jimmy Johnson throwback, just anything
I'm
from
gonna
like
let you
early
take this.
2000s.
You hold an iRacing picture.
Yeah, this is such an obscure reference. Taylor, what the heck?
Quite honestly, at this point, I just threw up the first picture I could find. Not gonna lie.
It's so awesome.
My favorite
Not
part is
gonna
this
lie.
is totally this is an iRacing scheme, but this is specifically one where it's the stock number font and you couldn't do custom numbers. It's not the same number font, which makes it even better for me.
Oh,
At this point, I was in a rush and
That
I
is
threw whatever I could find. I'm not gonna lie.
spectacular.
I love the internet.
Well, listen, you know what, Taylor?
Ah.
I am so proud of you for doing this because the man that drives this car doesn't deserve to throw back to a Jimmy Johnson car.
Oh my god.
So I'm glad you
wrong.
did that. He's throwing back to an iRacing Lowe's paint scheme. I'm so glad you did this. Because of that, put it at A. Because you know the truth, Taylor. You know what's up.
Oh god. I make
It's
mistakes.
an A.
We all do. Everyone, I think it's an A because it's pretty spot on. Regardless,
I think it's an A to a B. It just like it's kind of like the 9 in that it just doesn't really fit in my opinion, but
Yeah, we have a lot in the B category. I'll put
They
it.
did
I'll
really
put
good for throwing back to an iRacing
A.
car.
B for Bucky's.
We're gonna move
B for Ben's
on.
birthday.
I can't wait until they become the official fuel of NASCAR.
Jesus. A Zane Smith throwback.
With Dave Marcus.
Dave-
What I
yeah.
loved about this is him next to the car with the Dave Marcus glasses on.
Mhm.
That was really cool. So yeah, it's very basic, but you got the number font right. That's cool. And they've designed it with the chrome around the grill and the chrome bumper. So that's pretty cool. I would say C, just because it's pretty basic, but I like. I mean, they did a good job with this.
Yeah.
Also, like, is this supposed to be a Dave Marcus or is this a Bobby Isaac throwback?
This is Dave Marcus.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
supposed to be
because
Dave.
Bobby Isaacs also ran a very, very similar scheme before for a couple of years in the late 60s, early 70s. So
Yeah, no, I think this is a Dave because of the glasses he wore. I think it's a Dave Marcus throw.
Okay, that's fine. I just wasn't sure. I fully hadn't seen the backstory on it. Also, Zane Smith's still on Fraud Watch. This is a C for me. It's pretty plain.
Oh my god. Yeah, I
Fraud Watch.
understand it. It to me, it's a little too plain. I feel like C, or dare I say D for this one.
Put in D. Go ahead.
I feel like that's.
I think it's a C. I think it's it's basic and cool, like a white woman at Starbucks.
Oh my god. Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna put it in
Buckets.
the D category. I'm sorry, guys.
We'll be
I
right
just Carson Hocevar's, by the way, this is
lame.
I don't know how I feel. He's throwing back to just a vintage police car. I just found a stock
That's
photo
an
of a
F.
vintage police car. F. Like that doesn't cool.
It just doesn't. It just does nothing. For
We're
me.
trying
It's
something
nothing.
different.
F.
That's
It's just nothing.
Yeah.
I want to wait for the chats to put in their opinions because I want to see. I want to see, because if we're thinking that it's definitely an F, I'm wondering if everyone else is going to be like, guys, okay, no, they're starting to roll in. F minus. Wow.
Let's give this a Q. For Quebec, yeah,
a Q. God, yeah.
I'm going to give you a super F.
Yeah, it's just like it's whatever. Like it's a cop car.
Yeah, FLM. How had I how had I not seen this? Oh my god.
It's just not like
Q is generous.
We don't have that much more of the alphabet after that. What do you mean?
No.
It's just not. That's gonna be a no from me, dog.
Yeah. Yeah. My goodness. This is our last one that we're gonna rank. Let's put this out here. There we go. I think this is pretty cool.
It's the old Quaker State logo too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a B.
Yeah.
Changing fonts and changing logo fonts makes it an automatic B for me.
Yeah.
B to an A.
I'm gonna get. I think.
You're gonna say C, aren't you?
No. I'm between B or an A. I just don't know which one I want to go with.
We have an S tier for this one.
No.
A tier.
I just S tier. That's fine. A. Oh goodness, the comments are coming in so fast. I don't know what to do. B for being different. Love that. A. I will lean towards A.
I'm gonna lean towards
A is in Daniel Suarez is an American now.
Woohoo! Yeah, congrats to him.
I tried. So I found an online version of the citizenship test the other day and took it.
Oh
and
God!
I passed, so I'm very happy.
I really want to go online and take it because it made me start to think. I'm like, do I have the knowledge I should have as an American
not that bad.
citizen?
You can pass it pretty fair.
Fingers crossed. Yes. So this is our. Let's go tier by tier and let's see if we want to change anything. S tier. I'm not moving that scheme anywhere else besides
We're
that.
not
So let's
surprised in the least little bit.
A tier and B tier are pretty stacked, especially B tier. A tier, do we feel like we need to move anything to S? Anything to S or down to B? Or anywhere else beyond?
I think Ben's going to argue the 19 to S.
I'm going to argue the 19 and the 41 should go up to S.
Really?
But
I know I'm going to lose that argument.
I think
there should only be one car in S. And that being said, the one needed vote to pass the Congress is not going to budge.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. I'll take it. I'll take my crow and eat it, I guess.
For me,
no, Taylor, don't. It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to explain yourself. You are the god in this universe. We are just the peasants here.
You can drop the 48 down to C. That's where he belongs.
So driver aside, how is the throwback scheme itself?
For the 48?
Yeah.
It doesn't work for Ally. It just looks bizarre with Ally, especially on the hood. But
Ooh,
Yeah.
actually, I kind of agree with Ben in the chat. I think 6
to
should go to
S.
S tier.
For me, the 6 and the 41, I would contemplate putting in S.
I think 6. I think out of those two, 6
Yeah.
should go to.
Let's
6
do
should go
it.
to S.
I'm okay with that. Yeah.
This
Yeah.
list feels pretty like tight.
Pretty solid.
Honestly,
This
it's
is
pretty
solid.
solid. The only thing I would personally change, and this is just me, I would bump the 47 down to a C.
Honestly, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that.
It's kind of a weak I feel like maybe in other years it'd be a strong one, but like
Yeah.
it's kind of a weak contender this year.
I agree. Is this do we feel solid about this?
Are we locking it in?
Are we locking it in?
Deal or no deal?
Do it.
No. I'll make one more argument for the 47. When I first
go back up?
saw it, I thought it was a throwback to the Casey Kane Hellman's Busch car. This
Fair.
could run in the Busch series.
Oh man.
That's not a bad thing.
No, just more so like that's a thought. That's something to think about.
I think Stenhouse's car should go to the Busch series.
I'm cool with that.
Sure. Let's do it. That's fine.
Just
trackside view, disrespectful to the 48.
I agree. Alex is.
and Andrew says no deal.
No deal.
What else? I
drop the 9 from B to C. Universe on the side kind of blurs. Do we feel like we should drop the 9?
I'm okay with it. But that's your call.
I'm okay with that. Yeah. Again, we need to also acknowledge, and we should have said this at first, these are all renders. These could all look like straight ass on track.
Yeah.
And like for me,
I don't think they will, but
no, I don't think they will either. I think for me, like this scheme, the 9 scheme looks really cool. I do agree that it looked really weird, but I'm gonna put it at a high C though.
It's like a high C. It's like a 78, 79. Like it's pushing.
Yeah. All right. Any other?
It is one of those things that it just looks weird on these cars.
Yeah. I don't know. Let's lock this in. Let me take a screenshot of it just so I know what we did.
Press the gas and the brake at the same time.
And click.
It takes a screenshot.
Did it.
In your car, it takes a screenshot. Everyone to press the gas and the brake at the same time.
So fun. But yeah, that's our tier list. So we will conclude the tier list there. But of course, if you guys want to rank your own, we have the tier list link in the description. We have one for the next 24 hours. It's like a community grouped tier list. So if you guys want to do that, you can just see where everyone else ranked them. If not, we have a tier list that'll be up like for all time. So check that out. We do need to wrap this up fairly quickly, but I did want to give Dom time to talk about
I'll be quick.
Our top 10 and where we think where they think they'll be. Oh, by the way, this is this Adams? That's Adams. I did want to give Adam a little bit of a shout out real quick. It's gonna be your tonight.
100 cars at S.
Of course, he put the 100 cars up there.
But this is what Adam would do.
Adam, I'm gonna break your kneecaps for putting 19 that far down. You're gonna never walk again, my man.
So, anywho, that was Adam's ranking. Ben, I won't show you yours since you're here and you ranked them with us.
That's fine. I'll just leave.
Feel free to post them later, though. Just in the sake of time, don't leave. Okay, Dom, top 10 time. Excuse me, you have the floor.
Lovely. Okay, yeah, I'll be quick. This is all stats pulled from every Darlington race that wasn't the Southern 500. So we've got back-to-back spring races in 2020 and then the spring races from 21 and up. And no one else ran any races below 2004. So after that, it was all just the Southern 500. But anyways, we've got Joey Logano at the top of the board. Our top 4 are all the previous winners of the spring race from 2020 and up. The only exclusion is Kevin Harvick, who has retired. But Logano's at the top of the board with a win and pole in 2022. One top 10, 126 laps led the most laps once as well. No DNFs is a huge help for him as well, putting him at the top of the board. Denny Hamlin is second with the 2020 win in the Toyota 500K. 2 top fives, 68 laps led, no DNFs. Another one with no DNFs that helped him. The reason why Truex is not at the top of the board is because he has 2 DNFs, which is tied for the most with Ross Chastain, but he's leading in almost every other category. He has the 2021 victory, 2 top 10s. He has led the most laps twice, and he has a total of 437 laps led in the spring race at Darlington. Fourth is William Byron, our defending winner of the race, running that Chrome Illusion car last year. But along with that, he has 1 top 5, 34 laps led, and no DNFs. Tyler Reddick, 5th with 1 top 5, 1 top 10, 12 laps led, no DNFs for him as well. The defending champion, Ryan Blaney, is 6th, who has 2 top 10s, 4 laps led, and he leads the active drivers in laps completed, 1,382 possible. He's completed them all. So put Ryan Blaney at 6th for being on the lead lap of every race since 2020. 7th is Brad Keselowski, who's got 2 poles, more than any other driver. 2020, the Real Heroes 400, and 2021 Goodyear 400. He has 2 top 5s and 91 laps led, 1 DNF to his credit. Christopher Bell is 8th with 1 top 10 and 6 laps led. 9th is Kyle Busch with 2 top 5s, 1 top 10, 28 laps led, and a DNF. And then 10th is the most popular driver, Chase Elliott, with 3 top 5s, 1 top 10, 28 laps led, and 1 DNF. And our other stat leaders that may or may not be on this list, again, Ross Chastain and Martin Truex Jr. both have 2 DNFs that lead the Cup Series. Ryan Blaney has completed the most laps, 1,382. Martin Truex Jr. has led the most laps twice, more than any other driver. He also leads in laps led, 437. Brad Keselowski's 2 poles put him at the top. And only Logano, Hamlin, Truex, and Byron have won the spring race. They're all tied with 1. Best starting position, Brad Keselowski twice. And average finish goes to Denny Hamlin with 9th. His finishes are 5th, 1st, 5th, 22nd, and 12th. And the best average start is Kyle Larson at 7.7, 14th, 2nd, and 7th. But Kyle Larson, I believe, was 12th on my board. So he did not make the top 10, but expect him to be a contender for sure.
Does this count the Wednesday night race that happened during COVID?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
This counts the Real Heroes 400 and the Toyota 500K.
Okay. I figured. I just wanted to make sure.
Yes. Larson's 12th, Bowman 11th, Bubba Wallace 13th.
Okay.
Chris Buescher is 15th, Ross Chastain 16th. Harrison Burton is 17th. And I know that's not top 10, but listen, he's got 2 starts in the spring race and his finishes are 14th and 6th. So not too bad for the 21 team. This could be a big opportunity for them to get some very valuable points back. Daniel Suarez 19th. Ty Gibbs only has 1 start, so that puts him down to 22nd. One person was not ranked, and that is Zane Smith, who has no starts at Darlington. He is a true rookie at Darlington.
And a fraud.
Oh my God.
Fraud watch.
Austin Cindric is 28th.
Yeah. So
Carson Kosovar in 1 start outranks him.
Yeah, so Austin Cindric, I talked about him this week on the ATYL main show. If you guys don't know, we have full race analysis following the races. Always come out Sunday night and or Monday morning. I talked about his season. His last top 10 and or top 5 was at Atlanta for Austin Cindric.
Yeah.
Everything else has been outside the top 10, top 15, top 20. And this is not the weekend that he's going to turn it around.
He's also on fraud watch.
I say this out of sheer irony, not that it's saying something, but it's really funny that he's really close friends with Harrison Burton and Todd Gilliland and just ends up racing around them most of the race.
Yeah. I hate it. I hate it for them.
It's not good for Penske.
It's not good for Penske. Just,
And one other stat, I was thinking about this on my way home today, and I was trying to think, So Ford hasn't won yet this year, and the longest streak, the most recent long streak I can think of, where at the time all 4 manufacturers hadn't won, would have been Kansas 2011 when Dodge finally won after Memorial Day. So
That's right. Yeah.
Dang.
that was as far back as I could think how long it took that we haven't beaten that record yet. So it took Dodge until after the 600 to win in 2011.
We could beat that record this
But
year.
to clarify, Dodge only had 3 full-time cars that year. And think about how many Fords there are
This
in
is
the
worse.
field.
Yep.
That's worse.
So that just hurts even more for Ford.
Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, I want to see them get a win. Again, they've been so close this season a few times, but it's just eluded them. So I don't know if Darlington will be the place they turn it around, but I guess we'll find out. So for more from us, make sure to check out tobychristie.com for all your NASCAR news, race weekend recaps, stories that break. Of course, that's what's going to happen right now. And then, of course, make sure go to abovetheYellowline.com to learn more about us. We might not have information about spiders on our website, but we have information about our great team, what we do, and some merchandise. If you want to support us, that's the best way to do it. And sign up for our newsletter. We have giveaways and stuff that we do through our newsletters, and it's a great way to get involved. Also, check us out on social media. Like, go for it. Do it. Everyone have a safe and happy race weekend if you're traveling to Darlington. Like
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day too. Shout out to the moms in our lives. Thank you for supporting us and being the badasses and wonderful women you are. So yeah, happy Mother's Day. Yeah, just have a great weekend. Stay safe if you're traveling. Happy
Saints
Throwback
missed the
weekend.
fraud.
Yeah. Jeff Gordon, do you have any last words for us?
Don't kill your spiders. They're good for the environment.
Exactly something Jeff Gordon would say. All right, everybody. Take care. We'll see you later. Bye.